Hey everybody, it's 2025, and guess what? It's season 2, episode 1.
Yes.
We made it, y'all, into the new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Sending you all the good vibes for an amazing 2025. Woo!
Here we go.
And guess what? We're gonna do our secret handshake, which is not a secret anymore. I want to see, you know what I want to see?
Huh.
I want to see people doing our secret handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like making a video and then
No,
posting.
you know what? I agree with you. And I thought of this before. It doesn't have to be ours. You're right. It's not only for us. It's for everyone. So by all means, use it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I just said. Oh my God, what a great idea. You're so smart.
Thank you.
You're so smart.
I thought of it all on my own.
Like, I'm just a girl. Like, I don't know how you come up with those things. I'm so excited.
You know, it's a gift.
He wanted to keep the glasses on, and I'm like, I'm blind, bitch. I gotta use my fucking peepers.
Well, it's because I didn't have anything festive on, so I have to keep the glasses on.
Oh,
You
okay,
have the
because
ears.
I have the ears.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh. All right. Well, welcome to season 2. I can't fucking believe
It's pretty cool.
we're in season 2, and it actually didn't dawn on me until the last episode of 2024 when we had Donnie Dumps on.
Yeah.
And by the way, thank you guys for watching the video and enjoying it so much.
The comments were hilarious.
They were hilarious. You guys were so adorable, and Donnie Dumps was a hit. So maybe he'll be a recurring character on our pod throughout the year. But he had a blast. He's a natural. He loved it.
He knows how to ham it up, man.
Yeah, for sure. But season 2, I can't believe it. And one of the comments was, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, oh yeah, we got to start, in the new year with a new podcast or a new episode.
Sure.
And someone had put in the comments, I'm so excited for season 2. And I go, oh, it is a season 2. We were renewed, you guys. So like the studio brought us
The
back.
networks love us. Turns out they love us.
Shut up. He's hungover, and I don't know where he gets this energy. I'm hungover.
I don't know what's going on.
And I want to crawl back in bed and die. But here we are. And the reason why this is the day, if you're watching this now, this is the day after New Year's.
Yeah.
And we have been trying to record this episode for 3-4 days now.
Straight.
And I don't know what it was, man. Just the adversary was trying to keep us down.
I was telling you last night before we went to our New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
Man, the devil's trying to get us.
I know.
Man. They don't want us to record this episode.
The adversary's trying to get us, man.
They're trying to fuck with us,
yeah,
man.
we're not gonna let it do it.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, man. We're gonna go tonight, have a good time.
Yeah.
And then gonna wake up tomorrow, crack ass at dawn, and do this video. It's fine.
And I was like, yeah, we can do it. And this morning I was like, why? So anyway, welcome to season 2. We're so excited.
Episode 1.
We thought it was so appropriate to kick this year off and our very first episode of season 2 in 2025 that we could do an episode on how to make your 2025 the best year ever.
Right.
Everyone says 2024 sucked, but 2025 is going to be my year.
Yeah. You hear it all the time.
You hear it all the time.
Yes.
And then by February, you're like, oh, I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
That's okay. We'll wait till next year. We'll
Yeah,
start
you know what?
again.
You know what? 2025 is not my year. 2026 is going to be my year.
Definitely my year.
And that sounds like being a 49er fan. Next year's our year, man. We're in a rebuilding phase right now.
We're rebuilding
right
We're
now.
going to work our way to have a better draft pick.
Yeah.
Because we're in the lower brackets.
Yeah. And, next year's going to be our year. That's like, if you're a 49er fan, you get what I'm fucking saying. So we don't want you to be like that.
No.
We want you to make plans right now. First of all, you should have made plans in 2024. So when the first hits, like in 2025, you're ready to hit the road, right?
Sure.
Make shit happen. But that's okay. Sometimes you don't know. You only know what you know.
Yeah.
Right. So what we thought it was going to be, or we thought it would be a good idea, is to get together, kind of brainstorm, and kind of like put together the things that we know worked for us and how we kind of kick off a new year.
Sure.
Right? We always have things in mind. We do vision boards, we do all that stuff, but we're going to mix it up a little bit this year.
Sure.
And we're going to talk about things that you should be focusing on.
Right.
And we'll talk about our version of the vision board this year.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet. We're going to finish it today just because this past week was hell, but we'll get into it in a second. So, let's get started.
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2024 was very interesting for us. We did a lot of really cool stuff.
Sure.
And, you know, we did cool stuff. Our kids did cool stuff. We did cool stuff as a family.
Yeah.
And we hit almost, well, at least I did, everything that was on my vision board last year. Right. So it was travel more, be more present, you know, really focus on my fitness. Those are the things that were on my vision board, and almost everything, but I think 2 things were checked off.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
So, you know, I'm better than you. So, just kidding. So, and the reason why I say that is because if you don't write it down or in a journal or do a cool vision board where you're cutting out magazines or even doing it electronically on Canva, you will not do the things you think you're going to do because you're not constantly reminded of it. Right. So we'll get into that in a second. But all that to say, one of the things that we both collectively thought about just from, you know, our personal lives, things that happen behind the scenes that we don't share with you because they're personal. One of the things that was missing was prioritizing yourself.
Yes.
Right. So if you're watching this, or if you just found us, welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the ACU. But we just throughout the whole year, we got so many DMs, and I'm going to share a couple of them at the end today, which I literally, of course, brought us to tears or just was like really heartwarming. One of the things that was kind of like the common thread of all the comments was, you know, like, I just feel taken advantage of. I don't know who I am anymore. I lost myself throughout the year or over the years. And a lot of them are from moms, you know, or wives who their marriages fell apart this year or this past year in 2024. And they're like, well, now that I'm not married, I don't know who I am.
Sure.
Because my whole identity was my husband and my kids. Right. And so when we talked about that, we thought, let's add that and let's talk about it and how we can really focus on that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. The whole goal, I think, behind this is to help guide you into not just prioritizing yourself, but diving into this new year with a sense of a new you.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Right. Because I know everybody wants to do it.
Right.
And I know everybody's looking to start off the new year with a bang. And what better way than to help you, guide you in what we're doing personally and what could possibly help you, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And the first thing and the first topic we're going to talk about is making you a priority for 2025. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, myself included, and I'm sure you would agree with this, we don't prioritize ourselves because we're always, unless you're a narcissist and you're the center of everyone's world, a lot of us always put others before our own needs and wants. Would you agree?
Yeah. It's a natural thing, I think, I believe, for a human being to put others before, especially loved ones and family members and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because one thing I do know is that I'll work harder and work more intensely and hit goals and, you know, deadlines, right? If someone else is at stake.
Sure.
Someone else's happiness is at stake. So like for instance, let's just say Drew is writing her book and she needed help on making sure she stays on point and, you know, or whatever it is, take care of everything else so I can focus on this. I'm like, I'm on it, right? Because it's for her. It's not for me, it's for her. And I want to make sure she does that. So why is it that we prioritize everyone else and we'll go fucking balls to the wall for someone else or something else, a cause, a person, a nonprofit, people in need. But when it comes to us, nah, I'll do that later.
I genuinely think people just want to be good people and they want to help, and I think that's why that happens. I think, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree that you're kind, right?
Yeah.
And you want to help people.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you can do that for someone else, you absolutely can do it for yourself. But I think one of the reasons why we don't is because it feels selfish.
Probably.
You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
But imagine, right? Because as we're trying to help guide you along in this process, imagine if you could, how long you could keep up with giving if you could prioritize yourself. Almost like it's like your cup is half. You can only give so much until the cup is empty. If that makes any sense.
Well, it's you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So if everyone's cups are out like this and you're pouring from your own cup, right, all the good stuff and all the courage and the fortitude and all this and that.
Motivation.
Right. And everybody's cup is now full and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look at your cup and it's empty.
Empty.
There's nothing left for you.
No.
So we're here to tell you, and we're going to kick this shit off in 2025 to tell you it is not selfish. It's called self-preservation. And honestly, if you're not happy, you're not fulfilled, how the hell are you going to help someone else feel like that? Yeah. And if that's your jam and helping people and wanting to hang out with people and really lift them up, how are you going to do it if you're tired, if you're cranky, if you're depleted, if you're unhealthy, you don't feel good? How the hell are you supposed to do what you love, which is help people, if you yourself don't feel good?
No.
Right? And that's mentally, emotionally, physically, the whole gamut. Right? So we want to talk about prioritizing yourself in 2025, right? And the first thing that you should, and write this down, take notes. If you're watching this, pause it, get a pen, paper on your notes, on your laptop, whatever, and take notes because this is really going to help you.
Sure. Can I just share a quick example too? So to make it more clear, like a great example would be Noelle and I, we have goals as a couple, right? But we also have personal goals. The couple goal is us giving to one another, I believe, right? And then the personal is refilling that cup to give more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I just wanted to clarify it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to take care of yourself first. And for us, like I'm taking care of myself and these are my goals. But then we have couple goals because it's either for each other or for our family or for our businesses. Yeah. So that's a great point. I love that.
I just wanted to point that out to clarify a little bit more.
Yeah. You should be hungover more often.
I don't know where it's coming from. Who cares?
He's throwing down the gems today, guys. I hope you're writing this down. Okay. So the first thing is we want you to really commit to growing, right? Whatever that looks like for you. So if you're stuck in a rut or if you don't even know what you want to do, let's start this year and just pick something.
Sure.
Something that even if you think you might like it or you think you'll be good at it, whatever it is, we're going to focus on growing. We're going to commit to learning new things. Okay. And I'll tell you what my new thing is going to be right now. And not repeating mistakes of the past.
Yes.
If it hasn't been working for you, even just last year, not even talking about the years, before this.
Sure.
If it hasn't worked, guess what? It's not going to keep working. It's not going to work if you keep doing it. Yeah. Right? What is it? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is called insanity.
I think it was Albert Einstein. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are going to change that. And whatever you're doing and it's not working, we're throwing that out in the fucking window and out the window, and we're going to leave it in 2024. And we're going to start today, January 1st, 2025, and we're going to do something different.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you first, before you even think about doing any of this stuff, you need to know this one thing.
True.
You need to get out of your comfort zone.
It's going to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I do know. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's hard. That's very hard. I'll give you a simple example. When people are talking, right? And you feel like you need to contribute. I'm contributing to the conversation. But all I'm doing is waiting for you to shut the hell up so I can say what I'm saying.
Sure.
You're not really listening.
Yeah.
Right? You just need to take it back a notch, really listen. And then when it gets quiet between the two of you or however many people you're talking to, you don't have to say anything. You do not have to fill that empty space. And it gets uncomfortable. Everybody gets uncomfortable because everybody feels like, now what? Now what? Right?
Yeah.
That's the feeling of uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
And you got to get comfortable in that uncomfortableness.
Right. Another great example is when I lift weights. There's a thing called when you're doing repetitions of whatever it is, your exercises you're doing. There's a thing called failure, working till failure, right? And this is just an example of the average person coming to the gym. When you're pushing and then you start to feel tired, they typically go, okay, that's good, right? That's good, right? But in actuality, you're just getting started.
Right.
The idea is to get uncomfortable, which means you're pushing and then you feel like you can't push no more. And then you push like 5 or 6 more times more.
Right.
That's the uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah.
People don't even want to go there, even at because they feel, oh, that's good enough. It's starting to hurt. That's good enough.
Yep. And isn't that in life?
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Hey, I don't like this uncomfortableness. I'm good. I'm going to tap out.
Yeah, that's good enough.
But what he's saying is such a good point because you are stronger than you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah.
And how many people do we know that quit right before the goal line?
There's a lot of people. I did it too.
Yeah.
I did it.
I've done it.
Past.
And if you say you haven't done it, you're a goddamn liar.
Yeah.
Because we all think, okay, that's good enough because it's starting to get uncomfortable. And lifting weights is a great analogy.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. I was at the gym yesterday with one of my besties, Tanya, and I'm practicing her name because here's what's funny.
She's
right?
an Aussie. Did I say that right?
What the fuck did you take this morning? I'm like barely getting the words out, and you're like, right? Yeah. So one of my great friends is from Australia, and we were working out the other day, and she's like, I've been lifting weights longer than her, but she's been doing all kinds of different kind of workouts, like boxing and like, doing all kinds of horseback riding professionally and all this other stuff. But lifting weights is kind of new for her. So she's been doing it for about 6 months. So I always make her go first when we're doing a certain exercise. So we were doing the lat pull downs the other day and she has a certain amount of weight on it. And I go, oh, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I have a bum shoulder. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get hurt and whatever. So I do it. And then the next set, I'm right about to get on and she goes and clicks like 2 or 3 more like bars on there. So it gets heavier. Yeah. She goes, girl, you can do more. And then I did it and I didn't even go to failure. And I was like, damn. Right. Yeah. So it was like, it's like a mind fuck. Yeah. So you're exactly right. You're stronger than you think you are. So you need to push yourself to uncomfortableness. Sure. Right. Whatever that looks like for you. Sure. Because once you push past that, that's where all the glory stands, right? That's where your accomplishment stands. Yeah. And that's when you shock the fuck out of yourself. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, we did that. Here's another perfect example. Oh. We did a whole year of episodes, did not miss not even 1 week, even when we were on tour for 30 days. Sure. We did 52 episodes.
We did.
Because there's 52 weeks in a year and we did one every week. And sometimes it got hard. Yeah. Even last night it got hard. I was like, God damn, like we're pushing it because we need to give our editor time to edit and all that good stuff. Sure. And sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes some of our episodes, they're not all gems, guys. I get it. Some people like it. Some people don't. The numbers aren't so great. And that discourages me, at least me. For sure. I look at the numbers and I'm like, damn. I know. And then the next one, we're like, fuck it. We ride at dawn. And then we just do it again. Sure. And then it pops off and you're like, wait a minute, So it's pushing past that uncomfortableness. Yeah. And then when we did our 52nd episode, it ended up being the best, most viewed video of our whole year.
Yeah, it was. We closed out the year with a bang.
With a bang. Amazing. And you know why? We were having fun, you guys. We were having fun. We had no expectations. We were just fired the fuck up knowing we did what we said we were going to do. Yeah. And when you keep promises to yourself, that's where all the fun happens.
Yeah,
dude.
It starts to build confidence. Yeah. It starts to build
passion.
Passion. It starts to build, like for me personally, I have like I feel like I could do like I have like a swag. I don't know. Is that the right word to describe it?
Did you eat swag cereal this morning? Because you're like super confident this morning.
This is swag flavor Celsius.
That's not it. That's not it. And all of you wonderful little ants out there, our little ants have been so like fucking gracious and kind and saying, "Oh my gosh, Tate from the first episode till right now is like night and day."
Yeah.
And I think that's why you're so fired up today, because you accomplished something that we didn't really think. Well, I never thought we weren't going to do it.
Sure.
But there's that doubt of, damn, this is hard.
Yeah.
We're being perceived on the internet.
Yeah. Judgment.
You know? Judgment. We listen, but we don't judge. Like that, you know? And that's hard because when you're being perceived or judged,
sure.
that's rejection and that breeds shame and fear and whatever. And that's why a lot of people, embarrassment. And a lot of people want to be on the internet. They want to have fun like we do, but they're so afraid of people talking shit.
I know.
But in spite of that, we did it. And I think that's why you're so fired up today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all that to say, if you get out of your comfort zone, and that could be anything, that could be at work.
Yep.
Right? Your comfort zone might be like, I have a certain amount, I come in a certain time, I do a certain amount of work, I clock out, I'm in my comfort zone.
Right.
Right.
But what happens there is you become stale, kind of complacent, right? You want it. The idea behind the new year, the new you, is to commit to growing, commit to learning, commit to and if you're complacent and you're stale, you're not growing and you're not. What do they say? If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like you're on some Tony Robbins shit today. I love it. But that's absolutely true. And when that happens, you start getting miserable.
I know.
And then you start like questioning your whole life. Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? Because you're not being challenged. No. Nothing's exciting.
No.
You don't have anything to look forward to. You don't have any purpose.
Yeah.
Right. And that could be with work. Maybe you really hate your job, but you're too afraid to leave because you get a steady paycheck.
Right.
But how exciting is it when you start a new job?
Right.
Or maybe you start your own business.
Right.
You don't know if you're getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. You will never work harder for anybody but yourself.
But yourself.
More than you will for yourself.
Right. And there's something to be said about being in control of your own schedule.
Your own time.
Your own time. Your own, I mean, that's a whole nother topic, I guess. But you, as you can see, or as you see where we're going here, the idea is just to be committed to what it is you're going to do for the new year.
Yeah. But also committed to growing and learning new things. And when you learn new things, even if it's something completely polar opposite of you, but you've always been curious about it, go fucking do it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? You're not very good at it. And here's another thing. I had a brain blast right now. Just know when you try new things, just already know before you even try it even one time, you're going to be so bad at it.
Yeah, you're going to suck.
We sucked at the first We sucked so bad in the first half of our season last year. We sucked, but as we keep doing it, we keep pushing forward. We got better and better. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me.
No, I'm thinking about me too. I'm thinking about how quiet I was. I'm thinking about how, like, camera, don't look at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to look, That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I know.
But
look what you did. You pushed out of your comfort zone. And that's a perfect example. You are the poster child of pushing past your uncomfortableness, getting comfortable being uncomfortable. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helped.
It helped, right?
It helped.
So
and it works.
It absolutely works. But that doesn't just count for like hobbies, passions, work.
No,
it also includes your relationships.
Yeah.
Whether they're romantic or platonic, right? If you have a relationship with a best friend and they just like suck you dry, like a Dementor from Harry Potter, they just suck the fucking life out of you.
Take no give.
Yeah. Take until you just go, ooh, and then you just die. If that's a friendship that you're in, maybe that's where you get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm fucking out of here, dude.
Yeah.
And you don't need to announce it like I'm leaving, guys. Just want to let you know. You can just slip out the back like Tashi and say, peace out, I'm out, and not say anything to anybody. Right. So that has to do with romantic relationships too.
Sure.
If you are in a relationship that makes you feel awful or makes you feel like, Have you ever known people like in a relationship where they feel like they have to lie about what the relationship really is because if they don't, they're going to be really embarrassed about the truth? If you're in something like that, it's time to get uncomfortable, my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's time to once again prioritize you.
You are number one this
Yeah.
year. And it's not selfish. It's self-preservation.
Right.
Right? You are protecting yourself and you're helping yourself grow. And when you do that, all the floodgates of the blessings are going to open up and the universe is going to conspire to give you everything that you want.
It's good. It's okay to ask for what you want. It's okay to prioritize yourself. It's
Or set a boundary.
Yeah, it's not selfish.
No, it's not at all.
No, this can be a great year for you if you prioritize yourself first, and then all these things will fall into place.
100%. So like, you know how on an airplane, if the, you know, the flight attendant will say if the oxygen masks fall and you have someone with you or, you know, child with you or someone who needs help, you put your oxygen mask on first and then you help your neighbor or your child or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because if you pass the fuck out, how are you going to help anyone else? Right? Pouring from an empty cup.
It's not selfish. You put it on first.
Self-preservation.
Then you help.
Exactly. Right? So that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
That's not selfish.
No.
That's actually giving.
Yeah.
Because if mama ain't happy
Yeah.
or dialed in, nobody's
is dialed in. Yeah.
Right? Especially if you're the nucleus of your family or your friendship circle. You have to take care of you. So that's like point number one. Okay. Make you a priority for 2025. Right. Also, let's think about this. Have you overcommitted to people on either how much you love them, how much you show up for them? Are you sacrificing your peace to make them happy so that they'll hang out with you? That kind of thing. That's not prioritizing yourself. Okay. That is giving until your cup is empty. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
Exactly. Okay. So tip number 2.
Yes.
Okay. Is create a checklist for your relationships.
Yeah.
Here's
Great
what
idea.
I mean.
Great
Here's what
idea.
I mean by that. There should be 3 things in every relationship, whether it's platonic or romantic.
Yes.
Right. The first one is safety. What does that mean to you in a relationship?
Just make sure you feel safe when you're with them, right? To know that is it that kind of relationship. If it is, then that's a good one, right?
Yeah.
That because you checked off the safety box. Yes.
Well, okay. So let me go in a little more depth about safety. When you're in a relationship, no matter what type of relationship is, it could even be a relationship with a parent. Do you feel safe around them? And what I mean by that is, like, are you always walking on eggshells? That doesn't make me feel safe.
Sure.
That makes me feel anxious. Or do you feel safe talking to them and telling them your deep, dark secrets or venting to them knowing that they're not going to go and like talk shit on you to someone else
Or judge you.
Or, exactly. So this checklist of any relationship you're in, it needs to hit all 3 of these. So number 1 is safety. Do I feel safe around you? Do I feel like when I leave your presence, do I feel loved? And do I feel like safe,
Secure.
right?
Yeah.
Secure.
Yeah.
We can talk about anything. I won't be judged, all that good stuff, right? The second one is trust, which directly ties to safety. Do I trust you?
Yeah.
Are you going to have my back?
Right.
Whether I'm in the room or not.
Yeah. If the shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
who you rolling with, right? You rolling with me or no?
Yeah. But if I'm not in the room, do you still have my back?
Yeah.
Or are you kikiing and talking shit because your friend, like the friend, right, is like, oh, they're not here and I don't want to be judged, so I'm just going to go along with the shit talking, right? Or are you like me and we're in a room and someone says something about my friend and I don't like it and I'm like, what did you mean by that? Why would you say that? They're not even here. Hold on, let me call him. I'm that bitch. I'm a loyal fucking friend, right? I do that for anyone. I do it for my family. I do it for friends, right? Anyone that I love, I'm going to have their back no matter what, whether they're there or not, right?
So they'll know that they feel and they know that they can trust you and they feel safe
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. They can trust that you have their back. They can trust that you'll show up at 2 a.m. with no questions asked. The only question they'll ask is, do I need to bring a shovel? Right? You call me at 2 a.m. That's all I'm going to say. Do I need a shovel? And do I need to put real shoes on? Because because I'm always either barefoot or wearing slippers, like flip flops, right? Do I need to put real shoes and socks on, or are we good, right?
It's not that kind of party.
It's always that kind of party with me, right? So, and then the next thing is grace.
Yes.
The relationships that you're in, do they afford grace to you? And here's what I mean about that. You ever know somebody or you have a friend and you don't see each other for weeks on end, and then when you guys get together, the first thing they say is, "Oh, yeah, I called you twice, didn't call me back," or you forgot to say happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
That, birthday thing aside, like that would hurt my feelings if you forgot my birthday, because I've already told you guys how important birthdays are to me.
Right.
But do I love you enough to give you grace? Most of the time, yes. 99.9% of the time, the people that I'm with, and everyone fucks up, everyone's human.
Sure.
Right? I give them grace, they give me grace.
Right.
When I fuck up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, so because maybe life happens, you haven't talked for months on end, right? And then when you get back together, it should be like it never ended, or there was no break, right? Like the conversations are still the same, the excitement's still the same, the love, the sharing, the family, all that. But if it's like, what the fuck, where you fucking been?
Yeah.
Or it's like the attitude that's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for.
No, right. But that part, like dovetailing to what you just said, is like when you make a mistake, right? So if you make a mistake and you made a mistake, as long as you own up to it, it's fine. But do they give you grace? And I go, dude, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I am notorious for opening texts right while I'm driving. You didn't hear that from me. While I'm driving, or like if I'm in a meeting and then I look at it real quick and then I go, okay, I got to get back to that person. And then I forget. And like a week later and I go, fuck.
Yeah.
Or I'll go, oh my God, I'm going to send this TikTok to like Evelyn. And I look and I go, oh my God, I never answered her last question. Or it was typed out and I never sent it.
Sure.
Does she judge me? Never.
Never. Not Evelyn. No.
No. At least not to my face. That counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
As long as I don't know.
As long as she doesn't make me feel like shit for it, I'm good. Right? We're squared. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the 3 top things that you're going to work on this year, or that you're going to like evaluate, okay, for this year, is the relationships that you're in, and do they hit all 3 of these very important points? Do you feel safe around them? Do you trust them? And do they give grace? Because if we're besties and I just fuck up and forget, or like maybe shit's going on behind the scenes and I haven't told you yet, and you come at me and you get up my ass for it. Yeah. And then I tell you, oh, yeah, my dog died. And they're like, oh, shit. Like, I'm so sorry. Then that still counts as grace, because they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. Or they're like, well, you should have called me. Right. Why didn't you call me when it happened? They just make you feel like shit. That's what I'm talking about. When it comes to
that's grace on both ends.
No, for sure.
Right. You're willing to listen to their complaints because they're like, what?
Exactly.
Man, I've been texting. Right. You're taking that, giving them grace.
Yep.
And then you say, why? Oh, my dog died. Then they're going to be like, oh, shit. My bad. I'm sorry. That's both of you giving each other grace.
Like, I'm sorry. I was such a dick. Yeah, you were. And you both cry together.
Yeah. That's happened to not very many of my friends, but the ones that I know are still today.
100%. Yeah. I can remember a time when Evelyn and I got in a knockdown and drag out.
Shut up. I never heard this story.
What?
I've never heard this
During
story.
COVID, here's the thing about me. If you say sorry to me, I forget. I go, okay, we're good. And then I'll forget that it even happened until someone goes, yeah, remember when I was really mean to you? And I go, no, I don't hang on to shit like that. First of all, my brain's not that big, so I can only have enough space for stuff up here.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I know what it was. She had a birthday party in Palm Springs. Her brother planned it for her, got her Airbnb.
I remember this, but I didn't think it was
No, it was. So like,
okay.
She invited us, me and you, right? And then we were like planning on going. And then she texts me, hey, I have to uninvite you. Bitch, what? We've been besties for almost 20 years, right? At the time. Yeah. And this was during COVID, when I think COVID was opening back.
It was kind of lifting. It lifted.
No, Well, a little bit, right?
They were allowing us to see people. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean we're uninvited? And then, and it wasn't her fault. It was her brother. He could only have so many people
In the house, yeah.
And he didn't put two and two together. Like, oh shit, if Noel and Tate comes, that puts us over the amount of people that can come and whatever.
Yeah, and the majority of them were blood. So
yeah, it was like literally her immediate family, her brothers and their siblings, or sorry, their wives and then their kids, right?
Yeah.
And so, but I'm not gonna lie, and it was, I think it was her 40th.
Probably.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's fine. Because I know her. She could not hurt a fly. She does not have a mean bone in her body.
Yeah.
But it was COVID. Everything was fucking stressful.
Yeah.
We're cooped up in the house.
Yeah.
And I was a popular girl. I have never been uninvited to a party. I've been not invited.
I think uninvited is worse.
Uninvited is
the worst.
Fuck, don't even invite me, dude. That's like I
should have never heard it from the beginning.
Exactly.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Exactly. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like I was like, she was speaking Greek to me, but in a text too.
How mean?
Yeah. I was like, you bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. But like just reading it in a text, then all of a sudden I'm like, why didn't you call me? It's like breaking up over a text. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, I made up stories in my head and I literally made myself mad. Do you guys ever do that? You're like, you know what? I bet it was this. I bet it was this. And it wasn't. It was because she doesn't have a mean bone in her fucking body. And yeah, I blame Frank for this one, but that's her brother. Anyway, so I was very upset. And then we just stopped talking, and I don't know. We went weeks without talking, like,
it was
and
pretty sad.
That is unlike us,
It was
right?
pretty sad. It was like inside out sad. Noelle was like inside out sad.
I know. I was like, hey everybody, and when am I ever like that? I'm like the Energizer Bunny, even when I'm like shit's going down. Like my house could be burning down, and I'm like, hey guys, what's up, right? But not when it comes to like my friendships and my loved ones.
Yeah.
And I was just like, very, very bummed, right? But I'm the dumbass. I should have called her and said, hey, what the fuck, dude?
That's what I kept telling you.
I know.
Babe, just call her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call her.
Yeah. Why? She didn't call me. She texted me. Couldn't even call me and tell me to my face, right? I'm all butthurt, making it worse for myself, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling myself stories that weren't true or believing stuff. I don't know what. And so weeks went by. We didn't talk. And that's like, in dog years, that was like 30 years, right? Because we we always talk at least once a week. Even if it's like we're connected on our Apple Watches and we're working out and it'll say, Evelyn closed all her rings. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, that's what's up, right? Just dumb stuff like that. And we went weeks without talking.
Yeah.
And within that time frame, one of my favorite cousins, Kika, died.
Right.
Right? And I was fucking devastated from that. And it was COVID. So I'm like, we're not going to go to this thing because my dad's immunocompromised and so is Donnie Dumps. So we had to watch it at home on TV because they were live streaming it. Yeah. And I was just, that rocked my world. That rocked all of our worlds because my cousin was just like, she was the gem of our entire family. And that fucking sucked. And then the day after I had posted, it took me a week, remember, to post anything on social media.
Sure.
Because I was trying to get my bearings because I was so fucking distraught.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, guys, I don't really talk about my feelings a lot. So for me to talk about it, because I felt like I had to.
Thank you, Val.
Actually, that was before Val.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about how you're talking about it now.
Oh, but I'm talking right now. Yeah. But at the time, I was like, I have to get it off my chest somehow. And so I put it on social media. Literally that, I think it was the same day or the very next day. Ev sent me a giant like flower arrangement. But she knows how weird I am about funerals. So it was like this really beautiful, flowers and whatnot. And the funeral colors were blue and white. So she sent me blue and white flowers. And it was so pretty. And I was like, who the hell is that from? And then it said, the note was so cute. It just like made me instantly cry. And I called her immediately and I was like, oh my God.
Everything's gone.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
And I was like, I'm so mad at my brother. And I'm like, you ruined my friendship. And I was too afraid to call you. And we were like both sobbing on the phone.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of friend you need.
Yeah.
Right? Where like you can fight, but you don't have to break up. That's what I always say with all of our friendships.
Yeah.
We can fight, but we don't have to break up. Right. Yeah. And so it was just, it was a trying time. However, my point being is like, she gave me grace. I gave her grace.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Right. Mm-hmm. And so you need to make sure that those three things are being hit.
Sure.
Safety, trust, and grace. Mm-hmm. Okay. And here's a brain blast. This is a side note. If you want a romantic relationship this year, okay, and you're like, I'm tired of being single, or I'm newly single, but I really love being in love and I want to find a partner. Mm-hmm. My friend Tanya, and this is why I keep saying her name because I have to relearn her name. Sure. Because last night we were at New Year's Eve and she was at the party with us, and I said, when she recounts stories, because she's from Australia, she'll say her name, right? Oh, and my mom said Tanya, blah blah blah, and I go, hold on, and I've known her for what, 4 years now, going on 5 years,
I think so.
And I'm like, is your name Tanya or is it Tanya? And she goes, it's Tanya, but everybody calls me Tanya because that's an American thing, I guess.
That's the American pronunciation.
Yeah, and I go, what do you prefer to be called? And she's like, Tanya.
Yeah.
So anyway, this brain blast comes from Tanya.
And Tanya, by the way, I was just thinking about it as you're saying it. I felt like, oh man, I have to say it with an accent, but you really don't. Because if you just take off the Y and the A, it's tan. So you just say Tanya. I the whole time I'm like, oh man, how do I say that accent?
An accent? What are you talking about?
The Australian accent. That's why you pronounce it Tanya, because it sounds Australian.
Oh, I see what you're
saying.
Oh,
so the word tan.
Yeah. So he's doing word association.
Yeah, it just dawned on me right now. I don't need to learn an accent. You just read it, Tanya.
What the hell did you eat this morning?
I don't know.
I love it. Do it more. But anyway, she had a really great idea. Well, one of her best friends from Australia told her this when she had broken up with her ex. She said, and her friend has a PhD in, I think, psychology. Mm-hmm. And she says, here's what I tell my patients. When you're looking for someone, you want to manifest somebody in your life as a partner, she said, make a list, and a very detailed list of what you want in your next partner.
Oh, this is good.
So I'm encouraging all of those who are going into 2025, single as fuck, single and ready to mingle, write down a list on your phone in your notes app so it can be an evergreen list. Mm-hmm. But it has to be very detailed in what you want to see in your next partner.
I was going to say, give an example. Give an example. I was just going to ask you that.
Okay. So look at us being in sync. So for example, if I wrote a list, I would say, I want my partner to be over 6'5" because I love tall people, right?
Detailed.
Very detailed. I want them to be athletic. I want them to be intelligent. I want them to have the same political views as I do, which is XYZ. I want them to, be romantic. I want them to be to balance out my crazy fucking attitude or whatever, right?
Yeah,
or my energy.
You can ask him, I want him to check that list.
Yeah, I want
all those boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So make a running list. And she told me to this day, because she's married now to one of your best friends, Anthony, but she still has this list to remind her what an awesome husband she has. Because
he checked all the boxes, huh?
Anthony's from America.
Yeah.
She's from Australia.
Yeah.
She was born in England, moved to Australia, grew up in Australia, and he went out there for business.
Right.
And she had made this laundry list of stuff. And he checked, let's just say that I'm not even joking, there was probably like 100 things on this list.
Really?
And he
was
checked.
One of them being Latin?
You know what? I don't know.
Because I'm just curious. Because that'd been money if
I'm not sure.
If one of the things on the list.
I'm not sure. I'll
Latin.
have to ask her.
You know what I mean?
Tanya, if you're watching this, drop a comment and say if that was on your list. Because Anthony's Latino.
Yeah.
But everything else on there,
Sure.
I'm not even joking, like 95% of what she wrote, and she wrote this before she met him. He ticked every fucking box.
That's amazing.
It was crazy. He's romantic. He's athletic. He cares about his family. He's a family man. He loves children because she had a daughter or has a daughter, and all this stuff. And she was showing it to me at his competition, and I was like, no fucking way. And I was like, damn, that's money, right? And then she would add it, but it has to be very, very specific. He needs to give me flowers for no reason. And he does that all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
And that was before she wrote that list before, and she never shared that list with him. And he was just doing everything on that list. So that's called kismet, right? Yeah.
Pretty powerful. I was going to say powerful.
So that just proves the universe is conspiring to give you everything that you want. Okay.
Intentionality behind it.
Exactly. So that's my brain blast for relationships going into 2025. If you're single and you want to be partnered up, make that list. Okay.
And don't forget, they have to cover those boxes of safety, trust, and grace.
Exactly.
Okay.
Damn, you're on it today.
I'm trying to be.
You got all nervous all of a sudden. Okay, we're running out of time.
You're gonna jinx it. I'm about to fall apart right now.
Okay, so let's see. We might even have to make this a part 2, dude, because we are running out of time. Let's do one more, and I think we'll save the second 2 for the next one, which will be fun because the tip number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last tip we're going to talk about today is know your worth.
Know your worth, exactly.
Dude, this is so powerful, and I have experiences firsthand, so I know what I'm talking about. Do you want to? Well, let me give you the first example.
Yeah, go over the first one because that's a perfect one.
So this recently came up. Someone was talking to us. Who was talking to us about getting an offer after they said they were leaving?
It was Anthony.
Oh yeah. Okay, so one of his best friends was talking about like his work and the company he's working for is not is like changing everything, and he wasn't appreciative of it or whatever. And then so it reminded me of this. This happened to me at my old job.
Right.
Basically, in a nutshell, I had been wearing 3 hats, getting 1 paycheck, meaning I was doing the work of 3 people, getting 1 paycheck. Yeah. And then I finally went to my boss and I said, hey, who, by the way, I absolutely adored. He's one of like the people I look up to in the corporate world, right?
He's one of the main reasons why you stayed as long as you did.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, hey, I don't want to do these 3 jobs anymore. I only want to do one of them, which means I want more pay. I want to work. I don't want to work 90 hours a week. I want to work 40. I'll do a couple more if I have to, but I don't want to travel as much anymore. Like, cause remember I was like traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And I said, and I want to get paid more. So I want to get paid more. I want a new title, and I want to do this, and that.
Well, it was going to put you in managerial positions. So.
No, I was already in manager. But I didn't want to make a lateral move. I wanted to jump up, right? So, and I wanted to that would put me in the top echelon.
With the ownership.
Yeah, with like the owners, right?
Yeah.
Like I would be like one step below them, and I would be doing all this cool stuff because I would be generating a fuck ton of money for them, right?
Well,
I was already doing it, but I wasn't getting compensated for
exactly.
it, is what I'm talking about. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about respect and my place in the company, right?
Sure.
So all that to say, I was like, I want this. He's like, we'll talk about it in the new year. New year rolls around. We have a big manager meeting, right? A big upper management meeting. And of course, I'm the only woman there, male-dominated industry. There was probably like 18 men in this room. We're talking, and I said, yeah, I want to do this, this, and this. And then the guy that's above him said, well, yeah, let it rip.
Right.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then my boss was like, oh, well, we have to talk about it first, this, that, whatever. And I'm like, red flag, right?
Yeah.
Then fast forward, he's like, well, I can't do it right now. Maybe we'll look at it in 6 months. Then they hire someone else.
Brand new person.
Not to do what I wanted to do, to do something else, but they were going to pay him the salary that I wanted, right? Yeah. And I was like, okay, strike 2.
Yeah.
And then I said, hey, let's go to lunch, blah, 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 because I was in San Diego that day. And he goes, oh, yeah, we're going to go. And then afterwards he goes, oh, I can't go. I have to do this. And I go, strike 3.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done. So I said, hey, I'm giving my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like, what? What? No. And then offered more money, more money to do part-time.
Yeah. He said, how about I put you on part-time?
Yeah.
And you still make the same, more money. And
Yeah. You'll get your title.
get all your perks.
You'll get all this and that.
He's giving away everything at that point.
Yeah. All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And he was on speaker when I was talking to him.
Sure.
And because I never thought, I really love that company. I really loved working with him and my team. Yeah. And well, it was my team too.
Sure.
And, you know, I'm like, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I got to leave, man. And I was getting headhunted a million times a week. And he was like, oh, no, this, whatever. And he was on speaker and Tate heard him. And I go, okay, well, let me think about it. I got to talk to Tate. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen today. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I hung up and Tate goes, no. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I go, why not? What are you talking about? I'm going to get double the pay for half the work. And he goes, where was that energy last year and then the beginning of this year?
Right. You had been trying to quit for 3 years.
No, I wasn't trying to quit. I was trying to move up.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were trying to, yeah.
I kept saying, I want to do this. I want to do that. Oh, just hold on. Well, hold on.
Yeah. It was the whole stringing along, the whole carrot dangling, the whole. And I'm not saying he's a bad person. No, I'm not saying
it's business.
It's not what he wanted to do because I know he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
It was just timing of everything. But as soon as you gave him the ultimatum, then he's like, "Fuck, I got to pull the trigger now."
Yeah.
I'm sure he was going to do it, but
who knows though?
Yeah, but who knows, right?
I don't know.
We don't know for sure. But when you said that, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Because then it's going to be the same thing again.
Well, that's what he was saying, and Tate was like,
"Yeah,
well, no." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, where was that before? For 3 years, you've been trying to do this. And he kept putting you off.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just think that he's a nice person. He's cool. But like the commitment to you and your time and what you brought to this company wasn't prioritized. And I was like, okay, Gandhi, like what the hell? And he said, because next time it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Or he's going to give you this and go, now you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I go, fuck, you're right, dude. All that to say, know your worth, know what you're bringing to the table, whether it's at work, in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, whatever that looks like for you. Yeah. If they don't step the fuck up when you need them, then maybe that's not the space you need to be in.
And let me just go a step further. Because I remember now this conversation with you. I was telling you, no, because they say part-time, but you're never going to work part-time, Noel.
I never did.
You're never going to take the days off you're going to take because you're going to be in a higher position. They're going to give you more shit to do. He's going to say part-time, but then he's going to, hey, I need you here. I need you here.
Yeah.
And what are you going to say? I got to go.
Yeah, I got to go because they gave me the money and the title.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Yeah. So all that to say, I wasn't really prioritizing my worth.
Not at that time.
I was prioritizing being a team player.
Yeah.
And you know what?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But as women, okay, we always are a team player. And with men, historically in the workforce, they prioritize their growth and they're moving up the ladder. Sure. They prioritize themselves. Yeah. But we don't. Yeah. If I say that, I'm not a team player. No. If you say that, they're like, wow, you have gumption.
Yeah, let's get it going. Let's get behind this guy.
Yeah.
He's got what we need.
And if I push back, I'm a bitch. If you push back, you're like a fucking businessman. You're making shit happen.
He's a stud.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So, and this is not just pointed towards women, but I'm just giving you an example. Sure. The patriarchy makes us act like that. Yeah. And, very, very demure, very whatever they.
And then the crazy thing is, once you put your foot down, all of a sudden things get moving. You're like, I get no respect. Yeah. This sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, right? Yeah. So all that to say, you guys, is know your worth. Whether it's at work, whether it's in your family, maybe you're in a toxic family environment, and people are just taking from you, right? You need to set boundaries. Prioritize yourself, and make sure any relationship that you're in has that safety, trust, and grace.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So know your worth. That doesn't mean you're an asshole and you're full of yourself because you're like, I know my worth, right? But you need to, and if it helps, write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down, what you bring to the table for that relationship. Work, family, romantic, friendship, whatever it is. What are you bringing to the table, and is it being reciprocated equally, if not more? And if it's not, guess what? We're moving on.
Right. And then once again, guys, this is prioritizing you in this whole deal. This is not being selfish. This is not being, it's all about me. Yeah. No, it's about prioritizing yourself.
Exactly.
And knowing your wealth is a huge part of that.
Yeah, your worth. Not
Your
wealth.
worth. Sorry, knowing your worth.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope that helps. In fact, I know it helps because we've lived it. Listen to your internet parents. All our little aunts out there, listen to us.
We speak from experience.
Because I don't want to have to tell you I fucking told you so on like December 31st of 2025, right? We're going to start this shit now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it.
It's going to be worth it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you're going to gain confidence and you're going to gain a bunch of stuff. And you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and going, shit, dude, I did not think I was going to be able to get that done. One more thing I had a brain blast right now. Evelyn started something towards the middle of the last year and towards the end of last year, right? And she became a fitness instructor.
Yeah.
A fitness instructor. And she's
So
terrible at taking tests. And she passed it. And first of all, she's like, yeah, I need to study. So like once a week, I'll be like, hey, bitch, where are we at? Where are we at with the studying? What chapter are you on? Like,
That's called accountability.
that's called a really true friend, right? And she finally buckled down, and then she texted me, I fucking passed that test, right? She passed her certification to become a fitness instructor, and now she's running like, I don't know, 9-10 classes a week, right? For like a fitness boot camp kind of thing.
You still haven't gone yet. You got to go.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Well, shit, she's giving me grace because I'm fucking busy, dude. What the hell?
I'm booked and busy.
I'm booked and busy. So don't clock me that I still need to go. Shit, I was my offer. What the hell? You need to go.
Yeah, I'm not going.
That's what he thinks. But again, I want to go to support her and I want to take a class from her because it's crazy, right? Not crazy in a bad way, but like I'm so crazy excited for her. And it's one of those things where she said, I never thought I was going to do this. This is crazy. But she found something she loved and it was helping her through her grieving process. Yeah. And at the time, she's getting fit and whatever. And she fucking loves it, and she's so good at it.
Yeah, I remember when you called her on the phone in the car. We were in the car, and she was on speaker, and I could hear her. You're like, girl, you got to. You could hear the nervousness in her voice, and
I was like, where are we at?
I'm still studying, and so you could hear, wow, I gotta study at this thing. It's hard.
Yeah.
You could just tell, and then you could also tell when she passed it how exciting it was, how overwhelmed, not overwhelmed, but overjoyed she was because she studied hard and she passed it.
100%. Right. So that is what I'm talking about. That's the 2025 we're going to have.
Yes.
We're going to be like, we did it, bitches. Right. And you're going to do stuff that you never thought you were going to be able to do.
And it's going to be amazing.
Yes. So this is part 1, you guys.
Part 1.
We have a couple more to cover because we're really going to get into this 2025 and we're going to have a blast and we're all going to win.
Let's all win together.
Yes. Okay. And then we're going to party our motherfucking asses off on New Year's Eve for next year. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, that's it for us. Episode 1, season 2. Thank you guys for joining us and coming back to the well. We hope that you guys had a great New Year's Eve. We know we did. And we are really looking forward to this year and spending it with you guys. So, and
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. But don't forget, we're going to put it up right here. Dason and Drew are going to be in Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, for the, what is it called?
Festival.
Just for Laughs.
Yeah.
JFL Comedy Festival. Please come out. It's almost sold out already. Just their show, and they barely released tickets.
I know.
Right?
It's going to be awesome.
There's only a few more tickets left. Well, and when I say few, probably 50 maybe. That's a few, right?
There's some left.
Anyway, there's some left. As far as, that was last week. I don't even know. Try and get the tickets. Anyway, but we hope to see you guys because we'll be there. And we'll see you guys next week. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Remember the glasses first came out and for Y2K?
Yeah.
And it was like, ooh, 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 ooh. And that's when we thought all the computers were going to crash.
Yeah.
Remember? Because the Aztec Calendar stopped in 1999.
We went to San Diego.
We went to San Diego and danced our asses off.
I can't remember the name of the song, but I just remember us dancing to it.
Yeah. And then was that when you were dancing behind me? And danced too hard and
no, that was
sent me head first into the DJ booth.
That was a different,
the DJ speaker.
That was a different New Year's. That was Belmont Shores.
That was Belmont Shores in Long Beach, the LBC. Dude, can you imagine? I'm 5'3", he's 6'6", and he's dancing behind me, and he's like, yeah. And then I don't know what, he did a hip thrust or something, and I was down on bent over with my knees, getting it in, and then he went, and then I was like, head first into the DJ. speaker.
and
And I turned
the
around and I
music
was
goes, "Rah."
like, I turned around and I was like, what the fuck?
The DJ gets, get the fuck away from my
Yeah.
DJ.
He's like, dude, you're ruining my shit, man.